My friends, welcome. It's a very important day. First of all, good afternoon. Hoping everyone is doing fantastic. It is about 12:30 here Central Time in Austin, and I just wanted to come on before my next client in just a few minutes. And I wanted to share with you that yesterday's live was incredible. If you missed it, you can still watch the replay over on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dr. Denise Simpson. And I was invited to join in on a conversation with Gloria Ramos Cortez and Doctora Erika Martinez. And this is, by the way, Latinas for Pay Equity. You go find them everywhere, find them on all the social media platforms. Gloria is a founding member of this group and was so excited to talk about Latina Pay Negotiation Day, which is today. She coined it, she named it, her group did, and that's what we're talking about today. But yesterday's live was so incredible. Again, if you missed it, it is on there. So go and watch and leave a comment. Let us know some insights you've taken from the replay. We would appreciate it. But as I was joined by these two incredible Latinas, talking about Latina Equal Pay Day, which is today, October 5th, Latina Equal Pay Day. And again, Gloria and her group decided to rename it to Latina Pay Negotiation Day. And so I thought that was just really, really exciting because now we're putting action to theory. Now in that live, we shared statistics, we shared the why this is important, why you should care as a Latina or a non Latina, why this is important to find awareness around. But we also provided you with how, right? Because what's the point of theory if we can't put it into practice, right? It has to be pragmatic. And so this group decided to add a little twist to Latina Equal Pay Day, which is now Latina Pay Negotiation Day, which is to inspire the Latina to take action. And so go watch that replay because I thought it was fantastic. Let me make sure I have my microphone on. Yes. Okay, good. um, Anyway, so after a long day of serving clients and after this incredible live that we did, it was only 25 minutes long. You can go watch it, speed through it, but go and make sure you watch it and then share it on your platforms. But after a long day of serving and reflecting on what today means to me and being someone who was raised on the Texas Mexican border in Laredo and born and raised in a barrio where in a trailer home with my two sisters, three girls and my parents, and literally just a few yards away was the Rio Grande, right? That the river that um that is between Mexico and Texas. And so our trailer home sat right there near the banks of the Rio Grande. And usually we were the first spot that immigrants would stop. We were the respite for them. We were like a lighthouse for them. They would come seeking food and shelter and any help as they were journeying into the United States. And we were the house. We were the house. And my father would invite them to whatever they needed, would leave things outside for groups that would come through. And this is where I was embedded with the principles of the blessings and the privilege that I had born and raised in the United States and seeing our friends coming through Mexico into the United States. And so it was such an interesting dichotomy for me. I was able to put myself in their shoes, and times I couldn't understand why the suffering, why the poverty, and then also being a a girl born and raised in Texas and having all of the blessings and all the privileges that we had growing up. And so I was always able to see these two sides of my culture. I am Mexican American, born and raised in the United States, but my culture and my family and my heritage and my roots are strongly embedded in Mexico. And so reflecting on yesterday's conversation regarding Latina Equal Pay Day was powerful. And so I spoke to my siblings, my sisters, and just wanted to get their memories of us being raised on the border, us being raised in this trailer home that was, it seemed like the lighthouse for people to arrive. Oftentimes it was our trailer home that was their first stop on a very long journey, on a much longer journey. Who knows how much further they were going, but know that I believe that our trailer home was their first stop. And so in reflecting on Latina Equal Pay Day today with my sisters, we talked a lot about money and we talked about beliefs around money as a Latina. We talked specifically about our salaries as professional women with higher education, with graduate degrees. We were talking about how we were raised to believe that money was the root of all evil. And that even if you had all this education, you must stay humble and you must not ask for more than what was given to you. And so we talked a lot about our cultural limitations, cultural limiting beliefs that were unique to my family. Don't get this twisted. This is not about generalizing all the Latinas. This is about me, my family, my immediate subculture. So I'm not putting all the Latinas into this one conversation. That's the disclaimer. It could have been very different for you. But in my case, and in this particular family I was raised in, that was the mentality around money. That was the neurology that was embedded in me as a little girl. It was, no, we live on what we can. No need to ask for more. No need to pursue more. Why is this not enough for you? You want more? Why are you so different? Why do you need to have more? And so, although my ego, was saying, yeah, I fear money. Yes, I fear asking for more money. I fear, what would I do with all this money? But my soul was saying, no, we can have more. No, we deserve more. Why the pain and the suffering? No, let's keep going more. And I think that's what helped me pursue my educational achievements, my career achievements. It was a calling in the soul, while the ego wanted to keep me in status quo and it wanted to keep me in this humbled victim almost. Humility and victimization is not one and the same. In my case, humility was used against me as a little girl. I needed to stay humble. You can't be smarter than anyone else. You cannot speak unless you're spoken to. You need to stay in the corner and be nice and quiet. Don't don't rock the boat. Don't rattle the cage. So for me, that was how humility was defined in my neurology. Now I have a different definition on humility, and we can get into that. But the point I'm making here is that here I was, a girl from the border in the barrio, raised in a trailer home, literally yards away from the banks of the Rio Grande. Like this was the lighthouse for immigrants coming in. They would stop at our home at all hours of the day, usually around 1 to maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. And our home was their first respite. This is where they were on US soil asking for help. And this is what I grew up seeing. This is my reality. This is my experience, which has molded me into who I am today. So today, being Latina Equal Pay Day, it's so important to reflect back on our experiences And so, in speaking with my sisters last night, I'm one of three girls. We talked about what they remembered. We talked about what money means to them today because of how we were raised to think in this in this way of money being the root of all evil. And so when you take on these limiting beliefs and you try to start a career and you go into your academic career, you go into your professional career, here you are going, wait, what? I shouldn't ask for more money? But that dude over there is, doing less than I am, same position, and that dude's making more. So, wait, what? I'm a little confused. And so there's this cognitive dissonance between this unconscious limiting belief that we have, that we were embedded with, right? The neurology is tightly wound around this belief. Money is the root of all evil. So when Latinas are earning 52 cents for every dollar that a white man and a non-Hispanic man make, we're like, well, yeah, you're right. That's evidence. Yeah, money is the root of all evil. So yeah, no, no, pay me 52 cents for every dollar that guy's going to earn. Okay, sure. So when the neurology is tightly wound in this belief that money is the root of all evil, that's going to impact the decisions we make as we are growing these careers, as we are expanding into these new roles. And so reflecting on that last night was so important to me. And so I've had to do a lot of unwinding, a lot of unraveling around my limiting beliefs regarding money, regarding my salary, regarding my self-worth and how it was tightly wound around money. I mean, I had to really work on this. And I still work on this as a CEO, as someone who leads employees, as someone who serves leaders in my executive coaching practice. Of course, I'm still working on these limiting beliefs. It's something I'm happy to do. I don't know if I'll ever unravel them, but I'm always working towards a more positive relationship with money. Listen, I help a lot of women leaders walk into their employers' offices and talk about a negotiation. I prep them, I prepare them, I get them excited about the potential, their income potential as these leaders, and we have an action plan that we put together so that they can walk in confidently into their leaders' offices and open up the dialogue. Tell me how I can start a salary negotiation. Tell me what I need to do to begin this conversation with you. And so that's what I get to do today with my leadership clients, of course, among many other things around leadership. But I wanted to come on here live because yesterday's live was very powerful for me. And taking the time to reflect on that last night, to call my sisters, to ask them for their opinions, to ask them how they feel about negotiating their salaries, how they feel about, their salary tied to their self-worth. Is that even something that they have a challenge with? Is it something, that defines their career ambition? Is it something that's driving them because they're so connected to the salary? Right? I mean, when we tie our self-identity to a salary, wow. Watch out, my friends, because you will go into all kinds of mental spaces like people pleasing, perfectionism, all the things. We bend over backwards so that we can show others that we are worthy of what we're earning. We get into burnout, we get into chronic stress. We start There's apathy and self-loathing and all these other quiet quitting things that we do in the organization because we are exhausted in having to prove our self-worth by the salary that was bestowed upon us. We need to unravel that, and we get to do that through coaching. And so as we embark on today, Latina Equal Pay Day, implore you, if you are a Latina or a non-Latina, I want for you either way to ask yourself, what are my beliefs around money? Are they tied to my self-worth? Or do I have this leadership value? And I'm talking to my leaders out here. I serve leaders. I serve aspiring, emerging, mid-career, and seasoned and senior level leaders, as well as CEOs and founders like me. If you're on the if you're in the pipeline of leadership, I'm here to help you. So when I speak to you, I'm speaking to you through the lens of a leader. And so I want for you to start asking yourself, what are my beliefs around money, specifically the salary that I'm earning? Is it tied to my self worth, my self value, or is it tied to my leadership value? Right? Your leadership value. That's this accumulation of all of your leadership assets that you have earned, that you have gained throughout your professional career. This is the leadership portfolio I talked about yesterday. This is us building the body of evidence of how we've contributed, what we've contributed, right? This is where we remind our minds that this is what we've created. And then we get to leverage this when we are ready to negotiate our salaries. That's important work that we get to do. And so I want to invite you to do the same. What are your thoughts around money? Were you like me? It's the root of all evil. um, what did you learn as a little girl or a little one who maybe had parents, well-intended parents, but maybe they weren't driven by money, or they thought of it as something negative. I know that was in my family. I mean, I saw my parents beg, borrow, and steal money. That's what I saw. The relationship with money was not a positive one. It was quite damaging. It was toxic. It was hurtful, and these were the limiting beliefs that I took on into my leadership career, and really impacted the way I sought opportunities, how I spoke about my salary, how I shied away from those challenging conversations on salary renegotiations. And so many things were impacted because of what I learned as a little girl. And so this is a day for all of us, whether you're Latina or not, to reflect on your relationship with money and the salary that you are currently earning. And again, we had a wonderful live yesterday. Check this out over on my Facebook, YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Let me make sure I have all the information we need here. So again, today is Latina Equal Pay Day. We have uh, a great replay for you that Gloria Ramos Cortez and Doctora Erika Martinez and I did yesterday. And Gloria is one of the founding members of this amazing group. They were created to help raise awareness around Latina equity gaps. And so we talked a lot about that, but we also gave you a how to. We gave you some action steps to take. And so today is the day, October 5th. And so Gloria renamed the day to Latina Pay Negotiation Day. And we talked extensively about that yesterday. So I invite you to go and watch this on all of those platforms I just mentioned, and then reshare that wonderful live stream that we had yesterday. It was powerful. And then take today to reflect on your relationship with money and the learnings that you've taken from your youth, from your parents, from your culture, your subculture. Um, what have you learned so far? What is it that you want to unwind? What are the things that you want to unravel? What are those limiting beliefs that you want to challenge? That's what today is mostly about. And then you go take action. You reflect first, and then you take appropriate action towards what it is you want to change, or what do you want to improve upon, right? This is the day. And so I invite you to do that alongside me, my sisters, and all the other Latinas in my life, um, so that we can move forward in living a prosperous, abundant, beautiful, fulfilling life that we get to create on our terms. And that's what we owe ourselves and our ancestors. We owe this also to our foremothers. We owe this to our abuelitas, to our madres, to our tias, to every single woman in our family and our descendants that are coming behind us. And so this is the day to do that. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Leave a comment. Let me know you were here. Would love to hear from you. Have a fantastic day. It's Latina Equal Pay Day. Go celebrate. Take care.